Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about conversion of Mealy machine to Moore machine. In the previous slides we discussed the conversion of Moore machines to Mealy machines, and in this slide we are considering the second case. Machine has four states Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3. The first step which we will follow will that we will draw a table and we will check how many are the in moves to every state and what is the output on transition from in moves. Say for example, we are considering Q0. In Q0, we have one in move that is from Q1 on 0 and the output is 0. Likewise, on Q1, we have three in moves, one from Q0 on 1, one from Q2 on 1, one from Q3 on 1. Three in moves all on 1. Next, we move to Q2. In Q2, we have two in moves. One is from Q1 on 0, another is from Q3 on 0. Next we move to Q3. In Q3 we have two in moves. One is from Q0 on 0 and another is from Q2 on 0. So that means corresponding to every input on every state we have same transition output, so we need not split the machine. Now how to start with it? Step 1 is we will consider Q0 state. In Q0 state there is only one in move and that is from Q1 and the output is 0. We will just put output of transition, that is 0, within the state and we will remove that from the transition one. In this case we have shifted this 0 from here to Q0 state, from transition to state. Next we move to Q1 state. In Q1 state we had three in moves. All three were from 1. So what we will do, we will just put Q1/1 in Q1 state and we will remove all ones from all three in. So this is how we have converted Q1 state from Mealy machine to Moore machine. Next we move to Q2 state. In Q2 state we had two moves. One is from Q1, another is from Q3. Both had output of 0. So we have put Q2/0 and we have removed the output from the transitions. Next we move to Q3 state. In Q3 state we have two in moves. One is from Q0 on 0, another from Q2 on 0. We have just put Q3/0 and we have removed 0 from transitions. So this is the final output which we achieve. That is, we have converted this machine from Mealy to Moore machine. Now we go to second question. Four states Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3. We will draw the table. Now in table, we will see that corresponding to Q0, we had only one in move and that was with the transition output of 0. In Q1 state, we have three in moves. Among those three in moves, two are having the output of 1 and one is having output of 0. From Q0 to Q1, 1. From Q3 to Q1, 1. While from Q2 to Q1, we have 0. So if we see this table, this clearly indicates that Q1 has three in moves. Among them, two are from 1, one is from 0. So we need to split this state. But before we split this Q1 state, we will try to complete all the other states which do not need any splitting. First step will be that we will take into consideration Q0, and the same process which was followed in the previous example will be followed. From the transition, the output will be picked up and it will be put within the state. This is completed for Q0. Then we go to Q2 state. Why not to Q1 state? Because Q1 state will be split. In Q2 state, we have two in moves. We will put 0 within the state and we'll remove the 0 from the transitions. Next, we move to Q3 states. Two inputs. 0 will be removed from both transitions and it will be put within the state. Now we are left only with the Q1 state. We will split the state Q1 into two parts. Q11/0, Q12/1, same state name but different superscript and output. We will identify what were the out moves in the initial Q1 state. Just see on the left side, we had two out moves, one on 0 from Q1 to Q0 and one on 1 from Q1 to Q2. We will take into consideration these two outputs. These out moves will go from Q1 to also. So corresponding to Q11, we have two out moves, one from 0 to Q0, another Q1 to Q2 on 1, Q1 2 will also have two outputs, one from Q1 to Q0 on 0, another Q1 2 to Q2 on 1. So we have completed out moves. Now we need to consider the in moves. We had 3 in moves. Among those 3 in moves, 2 had output 1, 1 had output 0. Now, corresponding to the output 1 in moves, they will move towards Q1 2/1, that is to the state which has output 1, and the one which had the output as 0 will move towards Q1 1/0, that is to the state which has output 0. That's how we have split this Q1 state into two parts, Q1 1, Q1 2, all those corresponding to 0 move to Q1 1, all those corresponding to 1 move to Q1. Once we have done this, we need to check whether the DFA which has been drawn now after splitting the state into two states is complete or not. So we will draw the transition table. As you can see in the transition table, all the states are complete. So that means that we have achieved the complete DFA. So this is the final output which we get. You may come across some examples in which instead of one state, you might have to split two states. The process which will be followed is same as it is followed in the first state, in the Q1 state. We will divide both the states into two parts. Out moves will go into corresponding out moves from both states, and then in moves will move to the corresponding in moves. So we can summarize that here we have discussed conversion of Mealy machine to Moore machine. Along with the two examples, in the coming slides, we will discuss second part of theory computations, that is context-free grammar. Thanks for watching.